Chris Eubank Jr. has done his best to try and cheer us up, I believe, during this period of ongoing lockdown and just generally a lack of big-time boxing by informing us that if he were to fight Canelo Alvarez, he would be going in there to destroy. Now, he has made the point that previous Alvarez opponents have made the mistake of just trying to survive against the man who, at least Ring Magazine, pick as the current pound-for-pound #1. Eubank's opinion is, I guess, commendable to a degree. But for a guy who is due to turn 31 this year, who probably isn't going to get that much better, despite being trained now by Roy Jones Jr., it's certainly hard to envision. It's not much of an imaginative game plan to go out there to destroy. And indeed, it seems to play exactly in to Canelo Alvarez's strong suit, which is holding his ground and counterpunching. If the two fights with Gennady Golovkin taught us anything, apart from perhaps dodgy judging in the first fight, it is that Cinnamon has a rock for a chin and he is a superb counterpuncher. So for your game plan to be to go in to destroy, with the guy being Chris Eubank Jr., who has never really had much of a jab and is kind of, for a guy who where he is right now, he's always he's been sorely lacking in fundamentals. He's never had much of a jab. His balance isn't great. These are not positive things to bring into a fight with Alvarez, who is so well-rounded. A little bit stumpy, yeah, but very well-rounded, very tough. Good luck trying to destroy him. And Eubank Jr.'s forte, I think it's going to remain his strongest point, despite whatever tweaks they make, is his fitness. It's his engine. He gets in your face, he puts on the pressure, he keeps on a high work rate, and he throws, fairly technically correct uppercuts and hooks, and he can go to town on you if you let him. But it's mainly the fitness which is his weapon. If you just go all in like that against Alvarez, who knows how to slip so well, block, stand his ground, then just slip in the crisper punches, that is not going to work. But in a way, I do not blame Eubank Jr. He doesn't have much time to play with. He is going to be 31 this year. And if you look at the other people in the middleweight division at the moment, not even considering Golovkin, the people directly under, like Andrade and Jamal Charlo, they would definitely be favourites over Eubank Jr. And then even the people below, like Murata Ryota, is it? The Japanese fighter. There's no guarantee that Eubank Jr. beats those guys, so he has got to choose who he wants to fight. And of course, everyone is going to go for the top guy who yields the most money. The game plan sounds ridiculous. I could certainly not see Eubank Jr. destroying Canelo Alvarez. It just doesn't make sense. How is that going to be possible? Has Canelo Alvarez been floored yet? I don't think he's been floored yet in his professional career, has he? Rocked once against Miguel Cotto's, was it brother, back in the day? But apart from that, I don't think Alvarez has even been floored. Certainly with Golovkin, he has got a hell of a chin. And if your plan is just to press him, again, how good his counterpunching is and defensive abilities, it's a shit game plan, to put it nicely. Eubank Jr., after his win over De Gale, he had a big period of inactivity. Was it Martev Korobov he fought, and that ended in the second round because of a dislocated shoulder? Because that wasn't really a fight. He hasn't had a proper fight since February of 2019, so he's pretty inactive as well in terms of good quality competition. If he can get the Canelo fight, you go for it, of course. But there's Billy Joe Saunders, perhaps. The Golovkin trilogy. He's probably just going to have to get in line. What do you think? If Chris Eubank Jr. were to be given the blessing of fighting Canelo Alvarez, Does he have a prayer? Or would his plan to destroy just be destroyed itself?